Hello?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, let me just like just one second. My I have been like recording the screen because as I have told you for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
and happy to hear that you also have started your own YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there disturbances from my side? Yeah, are you like how is the background noise in my on my side? Are you?
Uh, no, it's fine. I guess it's not that much.
Oh,
Is
okay.
there a lot of background noise on my side?
No, it.
I can't. One sec.
I think it's okay.
Reduce. Yeah, should be much better.
Yeah, yeah, it's better now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we I think we met on from our last company. We used to. Yeah, we. I think I'm also a freelancer, and you also worked as a freelancer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I got best friend answer,
yeah.
and yeah.
Since then, I think you were on same one football company at that time also, and later on you got into AWS, right?
Yeah, yeah. I switched to AWS. I got the opportunity. I just grabbed it.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was fine.
yeah. And I just like I was once I saw your. I think I found you from LinkedIn later on, and or I don't know GitHub. I have followed you or I don't know, and I, I saw your YouTube channel and already you have made all the videos that I want to talk about. So and I watched those videos, got pretty much all the ideas that I was planning to ask you on this video. Like for example,
Yeah,
how you got into Germany and how was the interview process. Every video you have covered those topics on your video, right? So
yeah,
but also we can a bit I think we can repeat those things one two
yeah,
things so that like my viewers also are on the same background. We are, I think most of them are like software developers,
yeah,
and even it will be an idea for me also because I'm also planning to go on some of the European countries
yeah, yeah.
later on.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, I always wanted to work in a Western country, especially like uh, I was living in India, and then I thought that okay, it's time to move, and
Yeah,
I researched it, and I thought that Germany is a better pick from all the perspective of like if you want to work from for a 9 to 5 job kind of thing. I found Germany a better pick for that because they have strict rules related to the timings and everything. So Germany is more of like employee friendly. So I thought that yeah, that would be much better.
like out of all the West or only out of Europe. Or like you researched which country that way, or you researched?
So I had in mind like either US, Canada,
Yeah,
or some country in the Europe. At start, that was my focus.
yeah,
But then, I when I started to research about it, I was like okay, US is more of like India where you will have to, there is no work life balance. Then I was like, what is the use of earning so much money and then not having a work life balance? Then for Canada it was a bit difficult to get into Canada. Like my friend was trying since 2 years to get a PR, because people over there don't even interview you if you're not in Canada. So he had to first get a PR visa and then go there and then try to find a job. But that is not feasible. That was not feasible for me, because we have this financial constraints. Like, okay, I go there for 3 months and then I, kind
Yeah.
of invest a lot of money. And what if I don't get a job over there, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to understand the different things of that country and then you apply accordingly and then things roll out, right?
Yeah.
So, then later on, I came to know about Germany because of my ex manager.
Yeah.
Uh, so he told that, yeah, I'm going to Germany. I already got a job and everything. And I was like, okay, this is, if this is possible, this is really great. And so I started to look about it, like, can I also get a job in these countries and all. And I found that, okay, there is basically Germany is not having a engineer crisis. So
Oh.
basically, yeah, like they are running out of engineers, so they want engineers to come in Germany. Even in pandemic they had this thing that, okay, we want more engineers to come to our country. Like
Oh.
in pandemic, every country was getting in a lockdown. We don't want anyone else or things like that. But Germany was like, we need engineers. And if you see, like over here, I don't know, like if I compare with India, there is a lot less number of applications, and so they are like, Germany is digitally backwards
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah.
So that's what supply and demand is. And I was like, okay, let's go there. So I planned my things. I started to apply for Germany companies, and yeah, it was like, at start I was not getting any
Yeah.
responses, because obviously, in India I am supposed to be a senior software engineer,
Yeah.
but in Germany it is not like that. A 3 years experienced person is not a senior software engineer. Someone with 5 or 6 years is. So I was not getting any response because I was applying for senior and I
Yeah.
did not knew. But then I got a chance to have a word with one of the HR, and she was the HR from HelloFresh. I told, my profile matches with this job position.
Yeah.
Just shortlist me. I was so desperate about it. I was like, just shortlist me. Just at least interview me. Then she was like, yeah, but the thing is, you have applied for a senior software engineer, but your experience is just 3 years, and that is not what we look for in a senior software engineer. So I was like, okay, yeah, you should apply for mid senior, and that is just software engineer in general basis. I was like, okay. So she was like, yeah, whenever you get a posting like that, you can apply and then we will take it forward. Now, at that particular time, HelloFresh did not had any
Yeah.
openings as for software engineer, but then I got to know what is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started applying in different companies for the same position. I got a lot of responses, and yeah,
Yeah. So
eventually,
so first HR will just see if he is certain years of experience or not. Like they will just look into your CV, and they don't go that much technical. And like for example, is he really able or not? But they will just see the data, like if is he like this much year of experience, or what are
yeah,
the
yeah,
past experiences. HR will do just
yeah,
the scan of that.
yeah, yeah, because they have a certain criteria for the positions, like senior one should be at least 5 years or 6 years.
Yeah.
Like once you enter the company, there is no criteria. Like
Yeah.
if I enter the company, if I have 3 years of experience, but then I work like a senior software engineer,
Yeah.
they would promote me in a year or two, whatever their cycle is.
Yeah.
But when you are entering the company, then there is a hard criteria. So, but also there are some companies which are quite flexible with it.
Yeah.
Like for example, I guess it was Sum Up. They were like, yeah, we will evaluate you in the initial interviews,
Oh.
and based on that, we will decide if you are a senior or a junior, like
Yeah.
not exactly junior, but like a mid senior
Yeah.
level. I was like, okay, fine. But yeah, mostly they just take the years into consideration at
Yeah.
first.
Oh, you mean in sum up they will they like told you that they will take a some sort of test and just for the evaluation or
Not test exactly, but like at least one round of interview.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, that
so
makes sense.
they
Yeah.
just wanted to see what level
Yeah.
they would go forward with.
Yeah. Yeah. So even in like you are going on mid senior level, so but in India it was like senior level, right? So what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
difference did you found the senior level of India and the senior software developers of Germany?
Yeah, so over here you have a lot more responsibility as a senior software developer.
Yeah.
I guess because you are expected, like right now, even as a software developer, I'm expected to do a lot of things apart from just the development part, which is kind of good. You get more responsibilities and then you understand how the work things are going on. And in whereas in India, as a software engineer, I was just doing the work that I was told to do.
Yeah.
But over here, you have to be pragmatic about it. You have to go forward and ask for things, and you have to decide for your own self. You have to participate in designing the product, how based on what product manager is telling you the requirement. You have to design the system. So they have a nice level of responsibility. You don't feel exactly like, okay, I'm working as a software engineer.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's good, I would say.
The responsibility factor is a bit higher in Germany. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. And you like, and what about the like visa process? So once you got into the German company and it you applied for visa, so right?
Yeah, yeah. So once I got a job, they roll out an offer, and they have certain criteria for blue card and things like that. So most of the time, if you already have 3 years of experience, the company offers you a package which is already on par with it.
Yeah.
So you apply for a blue card visa. So the
Oh.
way it happens is they apply for a ZAV. The company applies for a ZAV to the German government,
Yeah.
and once you get the ZAV, that ZAV is basically that, okay, this is my salary, so I am eligible for a blue
Oh.
card. Therefore, give me the visa. And because it is a work visa and Germany wants engineers, it is pretty fast process. Especially during pandemic, because they were only allowing work visas and I guess student visas. So I actually got my visa within a month.
Oh.
Uh, yeah,
So that.
obviously now they have a lot of workload related to other types of visas as well. So it is getting extended. Like recently, my friend told that he is going to take like 3 months for the visa process, but yeah, it was
So
pretty quick in that.
the very the process of getting visa after you get the job in Germany, that made you like that is the unique part about Germany. Or same thing we get in Canada, USA or UK. I think only in Germany or certain. country?
I think yeah, I think in European countries, because it is much more easier
Oh,
as compared to Canada and US. Like Canada is still fine. I would say US is the hardest one.
oh,
Um,
for work visa.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, everyone
because
are going on. My colleagues and my senior also, they go to do like masters or some sort of PhD. But I
yeah,
have
that is
yeah, very less cases I have heard about someone going with work visa. So that
yeah,
that's kind of,
exactly.
yeah, intriguing, or let's say it's interesting to know that someone is going from work visa, right? Yeah, and in US, yeah, education law, student visa is in that sense it's simple. But the thing that I don't like about student visa is, for example, if I don't want to do masters, and if I
Yeah,
don't have some sort of specific topic that I'm going to do research on, then why should I like like it's kind of wasting my 2 3 years on those area that I am not like totally passionate about. Does the same
yeah,
sort
exactly.
of thing happened with you, or like?
Yeah, like I also was thinking about that. Like I before I was thinking, okay, the one way that I can get a job in US would be either getting a master's degree,
Yeah,
or maybe luck by chance
yeah,
my company sends me on site and then I get the visa over there. But uh, the second one is very less probable, and the first one is too expensive,
yeah,
right? And as software engineer, what I believe is like, uh, once you have done the bachelor's, I think experience
yeah,
kind of takes you to the same level as masters or even PhD, right?
yeah,
At the end, experience is the same as what you were going to do in master, or sometimes even in more depth for certain topics, but you get the real world experience, so it kind of balances out. So I was like, okay, if I do that, it will be very costly process. I cannot do that. But when I got this opportunity, I was like, okay, so there is a possibility of me going outside, and that is without me having to invest anything
yeah,
upfront. If you get it from work or visa directly, it's like, yeah, just you are getting paid from the first month, and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, you don't have a job over there. Technically, you can come to Europe, to Germany actually, with the works job seekers visa.
job seekers
Uh,
visa also.
yeah. So there is a
Oh,
job seeker visa where you can come to Germany for 6 months and try to search for a job. And if you get the job, that visa is converted to work
yeah,
visa going forward. But again, that is then the same way as Canada, but although it is much easier than Canada,
yeah,
because that is something which you get faster. For Canada, the PR visa process takes a very long time, but
yeah,
for this, it takes very less time and it's much easier. But yeah, again, yeah, it depends on person to person what they prefer in that
yeah.
particular sense.
And what about, did you find like you thought that Germany had work-life balance, and some sort of your expectation was there when you were in India? So did you find those things, or even more better, or what is your present experience on Germany?
Actually, it is quite good. I see the work-life balance. I mean, uh, the previous company at One Football, we had a nice work-life balance. I never saw anyone working post 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock based on whatever they decided their schedule to be. And on top of that, if there is like on calls, you are getting paid for your on call. So it's more of like, if you are like you are on call, you are working extra hours, you get paid extra.
Yeah,
And that is something, it depends on team to team how they organize it. For example, at One Football, it was like trying to find that one day where you can take on call yourself, and then you get paid for that day. Whereas at Amazon, it's more of like on a rotational basis. So every week there is someone else doing an on call. Um, so it depends on team to team, but at least you are getting paid extra if you're
Yeah.
working extra. So that is totally
Yeah,
fine.
and yeah, since we, yeah, you mean, uh, let's talk about Amazon, right? So the interview process might be like similar that you have described in your like YouTube video. I think I watched the on I think one football video, and you said that there were multiple rounds, and you have to, I think, give peer interview coding, all those sort of thing that we hear in market. And uh, was it a bit different than one football type of interview, or how was that experience?
So for with Amazon, the interview process was a bit different.
Oh,
Although it was also kind of I think their interview process was I don't know, uh, more kind of focused on both trying to identify the best candidate, but the right fit for the team. So right now that I'm in Amazon, I also know from the interviewer perspective like what we are told to do. So we are told to judge the candidate based on his leadership principles, and a bit about how he thinks, and because obviously coding is an important part of day-to-day job.
yeah,
A bit on how he thinks, and maybe that code level reaches what your expectations are, but it should not be too hard. If it should be on par with what you have in your team. So if my team is not working on very complex algorithms, you cannot give someone very complex problems to solve, because that is not what he would do later in the team.
yeah,
uh, yeah. So I like that concept, because then even the candidate understands that okay, this will be the level of the work. Plus, the interviewer understands that okay, this guy can solve the things. Then there is leadership principles which test that okay, how the person is in, like kind of used to working, what kind of environment. So they have certain leadership principles around it, and they tell you to tell your stories around that principle, like when was the time when you demonstrated that principle in your work life. So that is an interesting thing, I guess. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was
yeah.
really lengthy, I would say. Like it took 3 months for the interview,
Oh.
which is yeah, it was a long one. Like
It was 3 months is like it's really, yeah. So multiple phases from start to end. It took 3 months, right?
it was like my one interview was in December,
Yeah.
and then the next interview fell directly in February. I was
Oh.
like, okay, now this is not yeah. And actually okay, sorry, my bad. So my coding challenge was somewhere around in November.
Yeah.
Then in December I had one interview, telephonic interview, and then there was final. There is a final round in Amazon, which is basically a group of 5 rounds back to back. So that happened in February.
Yeah.
So it was very long process in that say, but I guess it was also because after my coding challenge, I was told that the position that I applied for was already taken by someone else, so they shifted me to a different position. But they skipped my coding challenge part, because they told that yeah, you already passed the coding challenge,
Yeah.
so let us just move to the technical first technical interview. I was like, yeah, thanks for that. At least one step forward. So
So you are backend engineer right now on AWS, or is it Amazon or
E-
AWS? They are different thing, or
AWS, it's
AWS?
AWS. It's for the cloud one.
Oh,
So yeah, it's I am on the soft. So we are basically developing the Tomcat for AWS console.
oh,
Um Yeah, like Tomcat version of the Amazon. Amazon likes to do everything
Yeah,
of its own, so they have their own GitHub, they have
yeah,
their
yeah,
own Jira,
yeah.
which is totally different from the world. It's like you enter in a new universe, you know.
And what about
But
do AWS require you to have prior AWS like hands-off AWS experience? Like, did they ask that about in interview or it was not there?
no, no. So the way Amazon tries to recruit is they want to recruit the best engineers who can learn whatever they are given to, because they do not expect you to know anything related to AWS or something like that.
Oh,
Even if you don't know the AWS company, that is fine for them, as long as you know your things, like you have the leadership principles and things like that. So uh, they are like, we are hiring people who can do whatever we throw at them.
yeah, yeah,
It's not, yeah, we don't want, because tomorrow, today we are developing this, what if tomorrow we are developing something else, and if we hire someone who is specialized just in one
yeah, yeah.
and he cannot learn the new thing, okay, the new project that we are going to go forward, he's kind of like useless to us, right?
Yeah. So
So they think
yeah.
of that long term
So what
usage.
percentage do you think the selection process were technical versus non-technical? What percentage was technical and what in overall your AWS interview process? What do you think the
uh,
yeah?
they kept an equal weightage,
Oh,
because every interview they had a 30-minute for leadership principle, 30
yeah.
minute for the data structure,
Oh,
or technical part. So they kept an equal weightage throughout the interview. And
so
yeah, yeah,
leadership principle you told, right? I think
yeah.
I kind of first audit first times. Can you like give a like small brief about what might it become like? What is it and
Yeah, so they have like 16 leadership principles, something which they also send when you start interviewing with them. It's like you need to be obsessed with customers. So customer obsession. It's not that you don't know what the customer want and you're just making it, so you should try to understand what the customer wants and you should make accordingly. Then you should have the ownership, whatever you are doing you should own it, and you should be pragmatic about developing that particular piece of software, and
this
many
thing? Yeah,
more,
I
like
got it. I
you
think
have
we
to
can
dive
also
deep, you have
find
to
that.
deliver results.
I think we can find that online also, right? The
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
those are not general that we learn in business school, but it's like personalized for AWS community or let's say that ecosystem, right?
I would say actually having that leadership principle is important for every company.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just that, yeah, it's just that there are very few companies which focus on them or actually name them. Like what Amazon has done is like they have named those principles,
yeah, yeah.
uh, which makes it quite easier for the interviewer to analyze them. And on the contrary, some companies don't name them, but they kind of look in that sense when they are looking from the non-technical perspective. So yeah, that's
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and what about like I was wondering what will be your like or day in a life at AWS, or let's say you are at Germany, like
yeah,
you are living in I think in Berlin, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
what is your like common day? How does it go? And yeah, can you like a bit?
Yeah, yeah. So it's I mean, I wake up at 8, and then I reach office by 9:15. Take my coffee and everything, settle up. Um, Hello.
Hello?
I think there is.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we lost When did we lost?
Yeah, just like you were telling the coffee part, you go to the
Yeah.
yeah.
So once we have the coffee, we after that we have the daily sync up where we talk about what are the things which we did, where are the parts where we are stuck, and there is this saying in Amazon that every day at Amazon is day one at Amazon. So you are always encouraged to ask questions because Amazon as a whole has a lot of connectivity between different services. So my the service which I am developing, like the Tomcat for the AWS console, is dependent on a lot of Amazon services, and our service is like a dependency for a lot of other services. So we are somewhere in mid of the graph. So we any change that we make kind of reflects on a lot of teams.
Mm.
So we have to be very much vocal about if we have a single minute doubt. Sometimes it is like we think that, oh, this is so obvious and this is how it will go, but then you realize that no, the if you do this, some other team might get affected, and that is not how they want it. So you just discuss that in the daily sync up, and then you get to know things, and then you do work. I generally go to the office because I like that. Although you can work from home, and that is
Mm.
fine. But I am very much used to working from office. I mean, pre-COVID, I
Yeah.
have been doing that, and I actually loved that concept.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
you can work from home like all day of the week, and or is it like someday you have to do remote? You can do remote, and other day you have to come on site, or is it?
No, no. So I can do work from home all days of the week. Yeah, sometimes it is like the team decides, at least one day we should meet.
Yeah.
Uh, but it is still not hard. Like my team decided that okay, we will meet every Tuesday, but nobody comes on Tuesday. It is only me coming every Monday to Friday. Uh, then sometimes some of the team members come someday randomly, like Thursday or Friday. And it's like one person coming on Thursday, one person coming on Friday. But yeah, it's
Is it
but it's fine.
yeah? Is it the like I saw that it there is free meal like anything you eat it's unlimited in this Silicon Valley's like companies like Google, Facebook. Is it in Amazon also?
Amazon. Right now, actually, I don't know what the condition of the pre-COVID is, but as of post-COVID, I don't feel the
Yeah.
perks of having a lot of free meals at Amazon. I mean, there is no free lunch per se.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes there are free breakfast kind of thing, but it is also because work from here, congrats for working from here, and then they
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
it's kind of like so yeah, I guess I don't know if they what they used to do pre-COVID, but at least post-COVID, I don't think it is
Yeah,
kind of the way they show on the LinkedIn for the Microsoft. They show that they have a nice lunch and everything.
yeah, yeah,
Right now we don't have.
yeah. So, like yeah, Germany, and let's talk about COVID. Like you went after post COVID, like you went I think on May, or it's been how many?
Yeah, yeah. So I went in April 2021.
Oh,
26 April 2021
yeah, yeah.
was the time when I left India, and yeah,
How is
kind of like a job.
how is the post COVID situation there in I think especially in tech, like tech industry, or let's say, or in general in Germany, how is that there?
Uh, I did not understand. Like
Like
from what perspective?
like let's say the gas price is increasing, right? Due to
Oh yeah,
and life in general here in Nepal, it's many things are expensive, and
yeah, yeah.
I think it's due to inflation or what, but many things are expensive, and people are also trying to, like, argue against that their salary is not being increased. So, in that sense, the quality of life is a bit, has been hampered due to COVID and all these
Yeah.
things. And since we are in Germany, and a bit that wave has touched there also, right? And
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, in fact, due to the Russia-Ukraine war as well, a lot of prices have risen. Uh, but I mean, in general, I guess it's much worse for Europe as opposed to other parts.
yeah,
At least what I hear from India, India, the prices has risen for sure, but it's not as much as it has risen for Europe, and that's, I guess, pretty much due to the war situation. Otherwise, I guess it was the inflation here historically was quite low
yeah,
because this is a developed country as well. So, but yeah, people are suffering here as well from the inflation part as of now.
yes, yes. Yeah, so I was also planning to let talk about some, like, in general tech stuff, but also on
Yeah,
crypto. Like, we both worked on crypto company and at past, right?
yeah,
And at moment
yeah.
I'm not there because due to my some other work, and I think it was. Will it be okay for you to if I tell the name, or are you planning to keep it confidential?
I think let us keep it confidential
Okay, okay.
because yeah, we I do a lot of confidential stuff on my YouTube
Yeah,
channel. I just don't keep the company's names.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
Let's say our platform, yeah, Web3 platform it was. And I think I was kind of, it was 9 months I worked on a certain explorer, you know.
yeah,
And from my specialization is on the front end part, and especially just linking the CLI, what's there in the CLI, and are we using the same API on front end or not. And just due to that, I kind of had the, a bit general idea about that platform. And
yeah.
you were working on blockchain, or was it?
Yeah, so it was kind of I was working on smart contracts and
Yeah,
things like that. So yeah, it was more of like from the blockchain part.
yeah. and
And
and on, yeah, like, I at that time we were kind of making a different product, so we need to communicate on some of the issues on GitHub also. But like, what did you saw, like, technically, or let's say how the things work there, or let's say, like, did you got the idea what it was working on? Because even after 6 months my friend used to ask, what is your company doing, and I was still confused, like I could not like describe them properly, right? I used to tell about this thing, and
yeah,
it gets reward this way, but even I was confused. So
yeah, it was kind of like I don't know. The worst part for that was like the reason I actually joined that was because I thought that okay, maybe this Web3 is something that would be the future, and maybe I need to learn about it. And when I got to know what exactly happens over there, I was like, no, I'm not doing this thing.
yeah,
Yeah, and it did not vibe with the way. I mean, I did not believe in the product once I got to know about the product, and so I thought that okay, it's much better that I work on something that I believe in and something that will be sustainable in the long run. So I thought that working with a half heart is very hard,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, the main thing I found there was, it was from project management perspective, it was very weak. Like, um, they used to set goals, but but there is no the blueprint how we are going to achieve those goals. It was like just we have to do these things. I think is it do like what did you can you share about what did you saw on like how was your like what
So
thing?
my
Yeah,
experience was like from the perspective of experience of the team collaboration and everything. I think what the project was going through was a lot of mismanagement and a lot of stuff which something that startup should try to so there is a fine line between
yeah,
okay, it's a startup, so you do however things you want just to make it work, but then there is also a line where you need to draw, because if you just do things randomly, you end up having a product which needs more maintenance than what is it is supposed to be having.
yeah,
So it was not performant, it was not, the maintenance was quite hard, and I did not see the point in having so much complexity, um, in terms of like having the blockchain thing for achieving small goals.
storage.
uh, yeah, just a storage thing. And I felt that, okay, I mean, this can be way more secure if it is on a uh, cloud per se basis, like the web 3. I did not like the concept, as per what people call it, but
Yeah,
I did not find the technical motivation as to why that is more superior over the previous one.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe there is a better use case which can come out forward, but right now whenever I see, okay, this same objective can be achieved in web 2, and it can be more secure and kind of like isolated behind a firewall, which is something which I prefer, because right now I'm not comfortable with sharing my data to anonymous users, and they cannot manage their own security. Like if you and me
yeah,
have our own laptops, we do not disable a lot of our ports or firewall ports or something like that, and that is one of the place where I think web 3 is missing on. Like
yeah,
users as a whole, they won't take care of their, like, many users have viruses or malwares on their systems, be it Apple, be it Linux, be it whatever. So security, there is a security concern in web 3. There is a lot of concerns, um, and trusting the anonymous
yeah.
user who would be holding your data.
Yeah, you
I
mentioned that in your YouTube video also, right? Like for example,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there are hundreds of storage platform, let's say if we are talking about storing our data in Web3, then some of them are not even like most of them might not be verified also, right? So
Uh,
yeah, since it doesn't have to be decentralized for like in every cases, like for example,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
I just want to my data to be secure or let's say protected from
yeah,
intruders, but it doesn't have to be like decentralized. Yeah, that's the point. I think.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah. That's the main point. I just it's more of like a solution looking for a problem to solve,
Yeah,
rather than a problem looking for
yeah.
a solution. So let's see. It could have some use case which I don't see it right now.
But
For now,
even very like let's say, though Bill Gates says that he doesn't believe in any of this thing and he won't invest his penny, but some of the major like people are there and even major tech companies are trying to go on Web3 path, right? What do you like? Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
so there are a lot of things going on here. For example, if you say, if you talk about Nvidia, okay,
Yeah,
the reason they will promote web 3 is because if the web
thank you.
3 flourishes, most of the Web3 products uses graphic cards, and that's what their business is. So
Yes.
they will promote it.
Yes. Yes.
But if you talk about Elon Musk, like he recently sold all his crypto,
Oh.
paid out his debt. He used his public power, public holding to say, yeah, let's
Yes. Yes.
Dogecoin to the moon,
Yeah.
increase the prices. He had some Dogecoin in his hand, just sold it, get the money back, and flew. So basically, it's like, I don't see it as a good way to earn money. I mean,
Yeah. I
for me, it's
saw.
trickery. It's about the ethics. I feel this is a trickery
Yeah.
for like normal people. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah. For
people are putting
example,
money in them.
people, those people that have seen the .com bubble on to early 2000, they might be waiting
Yeah,
for another bubble to take part and just exit when it's on. So I think in West, uh,
yeah,
it was like made to, like, create this, like, it might be a bubble, but it might be like a very useful thing also, right? We don't know, it might we might see that in future, but I think,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'm also a bit confused on, if I talk to some people, like, some of my friend are even auditors on this platform, right? And even if I ask them, is it like, do you really believe in this thing, or let's say, is it the future, then even they are like confused, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so that is the thing. Like, actually, I tried to get in contact with the Web3 LinkedIn people. Like, there was one post where there was this one person. She was telling, yeah, it's very hard for Web2 people to make them understand the usability of Web3. I was like, okay, let's get on a live stream. I am ready to answer because I have worked on Web3
yeah,
and I know what is happening. So I would like to know from your perspective what it is. And I think that there might be some
yeah,
company in a corner which
yeah, yeah.
might have a useful product.
Yeah, for
But
example, I saw an ad on Facebook some days ago, right? And I think it might be a very useful case of Web3. Like, they are trying to build a crypto city in African, some of the Central African place, and what they have done is that they have team up with the government, and these two guys are like, they are the Web3 guys, and government are, I think they agreed on that idea, or let's say dream. So some plot of land is given as a crypto city, and they also have a coin with them, and they will say that if you stake, let's say 10,000 this coin, then you will be able to get some sort of plot from our land in real. You can make your house, or you can start your business, or you can even resell that land on the same coin, and you will also get the metaverse version of that land. And even it was like, they told that you will get some sort of passport and citizenship, or let's say all the government, all those things, if
yeah,
you
yeah.
are staking and buying the land on that crypto city only. And kind of thought that, I think it might be work in that case also, right? What do you think? People might be
For
interested
me,
on.
yeah. So for me, what it is ultimately you are buying a land. You're not buying a coin. Ultimately
Yeah,
what you're doing is you say that you digitally bought a land, so you can always create a digital platform where you buy a land
yeah,
without the need of this entire thing, and at the end it's also by the government. So I exactly don't realize what they're trying to do. For example, if they say like there should be a like a hard thing that yes, this is something which you cannot do much easier way.
yeah,
See,
yeah, for
with the
example,
blockchain thing and the complexity of the
yeah,
blockchain and the miners and everything, what is the thing that you're solving? I mean, there is a simple way to do that. The thing which you're saying, you can always have a centralized system because at the end it's by the government. So the government is going to give you the citizenship and things like that. So at the end, it is a centralized thing. You can just do it just like that. You don't need to give it a name cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is working for them.
one thing about
And
the storage platform that we worked on, and for example, if it was a centralized system, for example a MongoDB, then my data can be read or rewritten, or let's say read by the MongoDB engineers, or let's say some MongoDB
yeah,
staff
yeah.
also, right? But if it was some sort of blockchain based, let's say decentralized storage platform, then whenever someone is reading my data, then I think I will know, right? And even they can't edit my data. Isn't that will be the better use case for, you know,
No, so
forensic
the
data, or
thing
let's
with
say
that
important
is
data?
no. So the thing with that is, if someone in a centralized system, let's say tomorrow Microsoft, or let's say for example, there was a time when Twitter was hacked, and it these people started tweeting from the famous accounts, right?
Yeah.
So at the end they were able to catch it. So if it was hacked, they were able to catch it because of the IP addresses and things like that. But on the contrary, if there is a storage handler, let's say a miner in this case, or sharder, whatever the term you want to use, he has the data. Okay, he can. It is very much easier as compared to having data not on his machine to decrypt the data. It might take a lot of time. It might take a lot of time. But what do you think? An encrypted data on a server which is backed by a firewall, behind a firewall, is it easier to hack in that sense, or a data which is there just because you are a miner, and you just can try to decrypt it? Obviously, you will have less time when you have a firewall, because there are a lot of metrics which go into that. Like even like recently, there was some DDoS attacks, and there was also some attacks on Google servers recently.
Yeah.
So they have the metrics to analyze it, and then they can stop those IP addresses from trying to decrypt the data. So they have, the hacker has less time to actually decrypt the data. Whereas in the miner case, the data is all mine. I have thousands of minutes to just to decrypt the data which I have. So from that perspective, it is very hard.
But
And
I
on top
think
of that, when
to
you say that
like
modifying,
I
yeah.
think to get all the data, you need to hack all the miners. Isn't that the case?
So one of the thing is like one way what you, generally people try to do is like distribute the data between the miners. But at the end, if you want the data to be safe, you have to replicate multiple data to multiple miners,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And one of the thing which happens is like, apart from that, you also have this now proof of, there was proof of work before, now there is proof of stake which is coming to Ethereum and all. So the more money you put into the system, the more data you get for validation or things, or maybe you get more chance to hold the data.
Yeah.
So in that particular sense, it does not actually distributes the data evenly. So it's kind of like, I don't understand, like
Oh,
you still
it
can
again
use
goes
the
to the
data.
same problem of being centralized. Like whoever stakes more Ethereum, then
Yeah.
that is the controller. Yeah, this concept goes on like DAO also, right? So there will be voter right for people on the DAO, and what they do is that you are you like should I like give a brief like about DAO or
Yeah, yeah. Just give a brief
yeah, so
about that. What
DAO,
exactly?
what is it that what is that it's a decentralized autonomous organization. And for example,
Mhm.
if I for example, Uniswap is also a DAO, and what they do is that if I have to make a certain decision on what the protocol is going to look like, or even let's say if I have to make changes to the UI, then the members of the DAO will decide and vote on it. Like for example, if you as a developer want to, if you raised an issue, then some of the member will keep that, let's say on the basis of category. We need to do some, like, if it was on the case of AWS, then I think some sort of manager, or let's say some from some hierarchy it will come and the decision will be taken, right? But what happens in most of the DAO is that community will make a decision. For example, if 10,000 people are staking some sort of token, then it is the decision for community uh, to take away, like, to take the product's future is in the community as a hand, right? So what do you think about that? I think that will be suitable in some sort of application, like, let's say some sort of use cases also,
I
right?
need to check about that in detail, I would say. I did not quite understand it. I need to understand it in depth before I comment on that, I guess. So, but yeah, I will definitely look into
Yeah,
that. What is
why
that?
I brought this example is that even they say that the community will decide on, let's say, of certain product, but also if some member has 70% of that
Yeah,
coin,
yeah.
then again it's the same problem of being centralized.
Yeah, yeah, it's again the same problem. That's
Yeah,
true. And that is like a lot of cases. The one of the things which I don't know. They are saying is like, okay, the government will not be in hold of the things and a lot of that crap. But the real issue is there need to be regulation at some point.
yeah,
And
if
when the
government will
regulation,
not
yeah,
be like on hand for rules, then some parties, like some people who might be on hand, right? But yeah, if it's not government, then again there will be some sort of majority stake, or that will be
yeah, yeah.
making the decision. So I think it's again the same problem there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you are just choosing which company you will be ruled by.
Yeah,
For example, when there was this crypto crash
yeah,
happening, Binance and Coinbase,
yeah,
they both stopped the withdrawal of money from the Bitcoin
yes, yes,
because they didn't want the Bitcoin to fall.
yeah,
I was like, yeah, now who will say that this is not controlled by someone? Yeah, its value was just there around, like, I guess 18,000. It
yeah,
dipped till 18,000 just because Bitcoin and Binance and Coinbase stopped their
yeah,
removal. It's again then a company which is controlling
yeah.
what will be the price and things like that.
Yeah, same problem. It's not government, but again it's a certain people that are doing that. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's never, and I think that it's better that it's a government because at least as long as, yeah, there are also many things to that,
but
but at
but
least you can see that, okay, this government is not doing good for the citizens. You can throw away that government. You can have a new government.
yeah, but
But
for
when
example,
companies are there, it's very difficult.
yeah, I got your point. Like, government, it will be better in government way. But for example, if I have to send money from here to USA, for example, then it might take multiple days. At present scenario,
Uh,
like, I
yeah.
have to go to the bank, I have a cash, then it will go to the exchange, all a lot of things. But if I have some crypto, then it's just like minute, it will just take minute. In that case, it's like good that there is crypto, or
There is a catch over there. So have you heard about the UPI protocol which was developed by Indian government?
no, I haven't heard. I have seen your videos there.
Okay.
I have to say that.
Yeah. So yeah. So the thing is that the only reason it is so slow is because US is very much behind in terms of digital things right now. At least from the bank perspective. Like even in Germany, it takes like a day to transfer from bank to bank. But the Indian government has developed this UPI software, or you can say a protocol, where you can transfer your money instantly.
Oh,
And this UPI is now even going to be used by France. So you can transfer within a second, like, and that is without any crypto. So the value of your money won't fluctuate, I mean, will be pretty much constant because of that, and it is within a second, and it depends on the government whether they want to make it like free or they want to charge it. Now that depends on the government, but for now what Indian government has done is it has kept it free because it wanted to get rid of all the people who were using black money kind of stuff for transactions. So it was like, okay, we just need to know if you have some incoming money or outgoing money so that we can tax you perfectly. And that is how it is working.
So
Now, this
yeah,
thing can totally destroy the use of crypto in one sense because
yeah,
I think even crypto charges you a bit,
yeah,
right? Yeah, and if government and on top of that, its value also fluctuates,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
That's the main
so
reason
this
why,
is,
like, they don't keep on, like, let's say, on online e-commerce to,
yeah,
yeah, pay from crypto. Even Elon Musk tried it, but he immediately, like, I think, canceled the
yeah,
plan of
he
buying the,
yeah, right.
the mods with the Dogecoin. It was not a good idea
Yeah,
because at night it's, like, let's say, same thing is $600 if you convert to USD, and at
yeah,
morning it will go to $200. Then how we can?
yeah. That's the thing. It's very much useless. So I guess US will sometime wake up of their dreams, and maybe either they will adopt UPI or they will create their own UPI. I don't care, but I guess it's just a matter of the government waking up from their dreams to update their infrastructure or their protocol. I don't think that's a big of a issue
So
per se. And I guess every government would like to have such kind of things under them because then it becomes more regulated as to, okay, you are giving money to this guy or that guy. And I guess that is much more healthy in terms of you don't give it to the wrong guy, someone you should not pay. Um, some organizations which are really harmful for the world and things like that. I guess it's much better in that sense.
so this UPI thing, is it like, you pay in rupees for American companies? Is that the thing, or it's different?
For American companies, right now, the way it's right now is just a basic protocol which the banks can adopt, and it's not necessarily. I mean, I have not used for cross countries. That is, but the because the cross country thing came after I came to Germany.
Oh,
Initially, it was just being used in India,
so
and
like, can you
then
give a
other
yes,
countries started using it.
simple
But
brief of what UPI is? Just a two liner explanation.
two-liner, you transfer your money from one bank to another in 1 second. That's the thing.
In,
So
yeah, for example, conventionally also, 1 second. I think, is it due to the, like, network speed, or congestion in
so
the, like, monetary network, or what was that?
so the reason for 1 second is you have to enter the pin of from your phone, and then the response time is pretty quick. 200 milliseconds, right? So I just consider that, but yeah, it is quite instant in that perspective, and the reason for that is one more is like it is for crypto you need thousands of validators, so crypto will take some time,
Yeah,
but over there it is again centralized system.
yeah,
So because it is centralized, it just has to calculate it once. It doesn't have to verify that calculation because the calculation is done by a trusted system, right? So, and like such calculations don't take much time. The only thing is that particular bank should be subscribed to the UPI protocol.
oh,
Now, yeah, so that thing is something which the banks can do. I mean, it will
yeah,
benefit the banks themselves,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So in India, every bank is subscribed to the UPI protocol because it is also mandated by the government that
yeah,
you should be subscribed to it, and it is also mandated by the government that your UPI infrastructure should should not fail some amount of time.
Oh yeah.
So there was one time when HDFC Bank had a UPI infrastructure which was failing more.
Yeah.
So they actually fined the bank. They were like, because of you, people are not able to use their money, so you are fined. So you get what you want. Now, can you fine Binance for not being able to remove the Bitcoin? No, you cannot. But when things are under government, you can at least fine them when they are doing something serious, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Do you have some of the crypto? I think we don't. We like took a lot of time also, right? Can we? What's the time here? Can we?
No, it's 1 o'clock, 1:10. Yeah, it's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, it's Sunday. I'm chilling out, anyways.
Yeah. You might have some plans also, right? So
Yeah.
just a couple of questions, and or you might
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
also.
sure.
You might tell also if we are like taking a bit. Or we can do on next session also if it becomes like
I'm fine with right now as
Okay.
well,
Okay.
because anyway, I was expecting it to go a bit longer anyway. Yeah.
So, do you have some of the project in your mind that you kind of like about in crypto space, or is it like zero, none of the
Till
project?
now, I did not find a project, because I am trying to find a project which will make sense to my mind.
Yeah,
Uh, I need a really promising project, something which, there is like, no, you cannot do it the other way,
yeah,
because otherwise, because if you see, the blockchain and everything is really complex thing. You have to design it in such a way that you can add multiple miners, and the scalability and the computing and everything is really awesome in that sense. The thing is, are you benefiting from that in a real sense, and if that process is going to benefit you in some sense, adding new features, having the upgradability and everything. So there should be a nice fruit to that. I don't see that fruit yet.
yeah. That is the thing that even some of the developers that are working, like for example, are yeah. I think even CEOs of those companies do not have clear, that goal that
Yeah, yeah,
this is not being solved by any other process. So crypto is, or let's say blockchain is only the
yeah, yeah,
way.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think even they are also jumping in the bubble that to grab the
yeah,
opportunity. Like investment is huge, market is big. So I think, and same concept goes from CEOs to developers, and developers also think in that way because the market is big,
yeah, yeah,
money is good. So that kind of mentality might be at this time, but let's say if some of the projects survive next 4 5 years,
yeah,
then
yeah,
definitely they
yeah.
will, I think
I,
they.
I think the only projects which will survive is when they have a real use
Yeah,
case, hard coded,
yeah,
like. For now, any currency form of blockchain usage, I don't see it, because I can create a database and I can have 1,000 coins. I don't need to use blockchain, and you won't even ever realize
yeah,
unless I tell you that, yeah, I was using a database behind. You would be like, yeah, yeah, it is coin. For example, I guess you get in Bing, you have Bing rewards, so they give you some points.
yeah,
I see cryptocurrency just like that, points. Like, yeah, technically Bing has that points in their database, and when you redeem those points, you get like €5, €10 kind of
yeah,
gift wrappers.
yeah, yeah.
Technically, just that.
Yeah, one project that I heard about it, I think some weeks ago, and kind of like the idea, and it's someone from Nepal, so your the
Oh, okay.
popularity is being gathered because of it. Some guy, I think he made a protocol. I think it's JPEG protocol, and what they are trying to solve is that I think in any case scenario, or let's say for example in a company, the employer will be get paid uh, once a week, right, at the end of the week. And even in country like Nepal, India, it's once a month at the end of the month. So they brought up an idea to pay in real time, like so money is being streamed. For example, if I'm
Ah,
working at the moment and if it's on, then I'm getting money continuously rather than at the end of the week.
okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
from employees, let's say, perspective, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's employer, right? The yeah, employee. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from employee's perspective, if someone is giving me my money every minute I'm working, then it's good for compounding perspective also. So I think uh, that will help. Y- is I think some sort of real world use case also, right, in there.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to think about that, but I get your point because I also like to invest my money. So it's kind of like the earlier you get,
Yeah,
the better, right?
yeah.
Uh, yeah, that is something I need to think. I need to see that
But
project. I
yeah,
mean,
but again the
because this
thing.
is the first time I am using this use. I am hearing this
Yeah,
use case.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to look into that how that plans out. But yeah,
Yeah, people are like
from
doing really crazy stuffs on crypto at this time, like not previously, like
yeah,
not on first bubble, but I think let's say on second bubble they are like being very creative and doing all sort of
yeah.
things. And let's see, but again the problem that arises in this protocol is that the price fluctuation, the volatility.
That is the most important thing because
Yeah.
it's something which there is one thing which I always say. Tomorrow, if everyone has their own cryptocurrency,
Yeah,
what is the currency that you will use?
yeah.
You will have to buy my currency. I will have to buy your currency. What
Yeah,
are we
Apple will have
actually?
a currency, banana will have
Yeah, yeah,
different
they will have
currency.
their own currency. Does not make sense. Let's see. Well, I guess I will just wait for the entire industry to just calm down and get the real use cases.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, even until and unless the user or let's say the customer are not solving problems in their life, the
yeah,
investor and even the community cannot take that to the long run. It
yeah,
might
exactly.
extend that product to let's say 2 3 years of because of the hype, but the ultimate goal is the customer, right? The user that are using the
Exactly,
product.
exactly,
But
exactly.
I think user need to be conscious, like in order to let's say use encrypted storage. A user like really niche user must come there. For example, it might work, for example, for the encrypted storage part, but yeah, it will be on a very specific niche part, or let's say some country has been given is under the compliance law, and let's say someone tells that your health data must be on blockchain, then only in those cases.
Yeah, that is much more in that case. I guess if the government is like mandating, no, your
Yeah,
data should be on blockchain, which I don't know why it should.
yeah,
I mean, on one side we want to reduce the energy consumption, and the other side blockchain is kind of energy hungry, and the government wants to do that. Which if government wants to do that, it's kind of like going in the opposite directions.
yeah,
I guess that is how marketing. The main issue with this is like they have a lot of money right now to spend in the marketing, and that's why they are just trying to survive. Uh, I don't know which one will. At the end, it should be the one which will be most useful for the people.
yeah.
It, yeah.
Even
So I'm just
for example, on Amazon's case, it was first for selling books, but from
yeah,
early
yeah.
2000 it kind of like persisted and went slowly up to I think 2004. I mean, it went like become really useful, and it went to e-commerce site. I think that phase is right now the struggling phase for those companies, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the investor money is,
Amazon
yeah,
from the first point. It was like useful from the first point. Yeah, you need a book
yeah,
to be ordered, and that is how you get it.
yeah,
For this right now, it's they have to market it, and as well as they have to have a real use case. Some are like, oh, NFT and something.
yeah.
I don't know what is the difference between, what is the difference between the two pictures. I just take a screenshot. Yeah, it is mine. Fuck it.
Yeah, this
Or I will
NFT
just,
part is very
yeah,
funny because it's kind of silly, and I heard of a similar podcast from NFT holder, and someone asked him that why are you holding this kind, this, like, CryptoPunk or some sort of NFT. Then answer
yeah,
was that it looks cool on Twitter. That was that was only the answer. He literally told that it looks cool on Twitter. The people will recognize me from this NFT, and it's
yeah, yeah,
mine. Kind of, yeah, rational was that there. But even problem is not being solved there, right? So,
yeah, yeah. It's like a car from the 1800s. You keep it because it's unique. You
yeah,
don't get a car from the 1800s or 1900s, whatever the
yeah,
first car was. You keep it. It's
yeah,
nice. It's good to look at. You cannot use it.
yeah,
It's good to look at, and
yeah.
that's it.
I just
That's
hold,
the
I just hold it, and yeah, that's all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a collector's bean.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah. Let's see what happens in the days to come, and even we can again
Yeah.
like, we can be again on a similar podcast and bring some of the crypto people, let's say, to even enlighten our understanding on crypto, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I actually try to get the. I don't know. I try on LinkedIn. Maybe that's the worst place to get it.
Yeah,
But I tried to get some of the crypto people to attract. Like I post purposely, like, okay, what is crypto kind of thing, so that someone will get triggered and
yeah, yeah,
he will be like, "Yeah, come on your podcast."
yes.
Oh, I don't get a luck.
Yeah, it's important, like, for example, the perspective, like, for example, they might have seen something there,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Because I'm not saying that I could be wrong on
yeah,
crypto on certain things, but for that you need to come up and
yeah,
instead of telling that, oh, you don't understand stuff, tell me what the stuff is.
yeah,
And when I counter your points, you should have a nice counter to that,
yeah.
something that will make everyone think.
Maybe if
I
I
think
find
that's the,
someone, let's say, truly someone who is experienced in this field,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
very important, let's say, a figure, then we can again have a small, like, I
yeah,
also am interested in the sector, that how it's gonna, like, just to know about how the perspective of that person, and
yeah, yeah.
we can have
But
similar conversation,
yeah.
right?
Do you know about this? There is one crypto CEO who had a meeting with Warren Buffett. Do you, uh, do you
Is
know
that
about?
Sam Waldman something, or
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but there is one CEO of crypto who, some crypto company who met Warren Buffett.
yeah,
He just wanted to Warren Buffett to understand the business model. And even after that meeting, Warren Buffett was like, till now, my views are not changed. For me, crypto has zero value.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he,
Yeah, it's
uh,
not even
even
clear.
he's.
Yeah, even I was like, I told you, right, after being in the company from for 6 months, and my friends asked me, what is the problem your company solving, what is, please tell us about your
Yeah,
company. They were like genuinely asking me, and I was trying to bring all the things that I look into, like I was telling blob or
yeah,
SAR or all these things,
yeah,
and token economics, the GCN, oh, sorry, the coin that there is, right? And
Yeah.
I could not like align all those things, and I was more confused. And later that day, I go in my room and I tried to watch some videos, or let's say go into the documentation, and still it was not that clear for me also.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Yeah, so it's I think been a bit more time, and
Yeah.
thank you for being on the uh, let's say simple podcast here. Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying
Yeah.
to,
Thanks.
yeah, thank you so much, and let's see what happens in the days to come. If we find some more people, then we can talk in the same fashion. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing all about life there in Germany and all the interview process. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, let's see. We should do again this in the future. Okay, thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye.